Agincourt, October the 25th, 1415. The scene of one of the greatest and most significant battles of the medieval era. Henry V, after his arduous campaign in France, wishes to return to his homeland of England. However, a far superior French force is intercepted and cut him off before he could reach the port of Calais. And so here, in the sodden fields near the town of Agincourt, the English king must face his defining moment. The stage is set, and the men are ready to die for him. And it is known to be said in times of great desperation, cometh the hour, cometh the man. Well, that day is now upon us. Now, men of England, you must stand your ground, for if you do, you have every chance of winning this battle today against all odds, because if the infantry stand strong in the centre and the flanks, it will give the longbowmen enough time to get their arrows off at a good rate and cause a lot of damage onto the French. But look at this, a unit of French cavalry have charged round the back and have gone direct for the king, the English king, Henry V. Can he hold, can he defend himself against this charge of the French knights? But look at this, a unit of heavy bowmen are coming across to desperately try to protect their king. Will they get there in time? I'm sure they will. They'll hopefully help aid him and repel this French cavalry. I'm sure they will. But look at this, every single direction, centre, left and right flank, the French are mounting a lot of pressure on the English. Can they hold? Can they withstand this? It's very, very close indeed. I mean, obviously these are very elite units of the English. These are footmen at arms, foot knightly retinue. You know, these guys will do everything they can. They will die for their king, as I say. And we've got two units of cavalry the English have got. Obviously King Henry V himself, and this unit of knights here, this English knight unit here. These are the only two cavalry units that the English have got. Obviously the French, who in that time were renowned for their noble cavalry, one of the finest cavalries in all of Europe. They've got about 7 or 8 units on the battlefield today, so they've got a lot more mobility and can pack a real deadly punch. But these heavy infantry of the English will stand, as I say, for as long as they possibly can. A lot of pressure they'll be mounted, but still the longbowmen are being protected. They are getting their shots off at a great rate here. But look at that, the French have broken off from the English king and are trying to charge into the rear of the longbowmen, realising what a deadly impact they can give to this battlefield. They go straight for them if they can. Bowmen trying to come across to support. The pressure is mounting. The men are starting to deplete in that middle. Gaps are starting to appear, which we do not want at all. English knights pushing the French noblemen still away from our right flank, which is very good to see. Zoom into the action a little bit more here. That's it, drive them from the battlefield. A lot of infantry clashing around this side here, on this right side. Look at these suits of armour here, very heavy infantry, really clashing against each other. The sergeants, the footmen at arms, the infantry knights. Can England hold on? Can they make it safe back to Calais? Hangs in the balance, ladies and gentlemen. It hangs in the bloody balance here. Look at this, a charge again from the right side now. Well, the left side, if we're looking this way. Very big push from the French here. A lot of pressure being mounted, but these heavy bowmen, look at them with their pikes there. They will stand and push these French infantry knights back. This is wonderful. I mean, look at this. These longbowmen are kind of, to the most part, being untouched. They have been able to be protected for most of this battle so far. Are still getting their fire off. Great rate of fire, great range there, longbowmen. English and Welshmen there doing a great job. Look, see them in, that's it, all full glory, getting their shots off there as these French try to retreat back, but we're giving them no ground here at all. Even there, the cavalry are being hindered. Look at this unit of heavy bowmen here. Great detail in these units, of course, with this great mod. A lot of people have been asking, how can I get this mod? How can I download it? Well, it's still not available to you, unfortunately, at the moment. It was given to some YouTubers as early access by the team. So, massive thanks to them. I really appreciate the code being sent over. But as I say, I do not know when this will be out for you guys. So, I thought I'd mention it now because obviously a lot of you do ask, which is understandable. It is a glorious mod. You want to get your hands on it. I don't blame you. But I just do not know the answer at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. But the English seem to have been doing a good job here. The pushes that the French are doing are starting to be driven back. Can the English hold on? Look at that French flag. Abandoned. The standard bearer there. Slain. Still kind of grasping onto it, sort of. Still a big push here in the centre. The French haven't given up all hope yet. They had about, I think, 2,000 or 1,500 men more when the battle started. The English knights have done a wonderful job. These English knights have done actually on that left flank, because they have really taken a little bit of a battering, or taken a lot of pressure from the French early on with the infantry and the cavalry combined. But they've managed to survive, so they're going to try and hopefully move across in a minute to try and do some rear flanking. A lot of pressure's being put over here as well still. A lot of the French are still hanging on here. Back and forth it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Back and forth. Great to see this sort of scene, isn't it, here, when you've got the infantry clashing and then these waves of arrows coming across every few seconds. Oh, look at this, a rear charge from the French into the bowmen. They realise that if they're going to try and get at this unit, they've got to go from the rear. And they have just done that very effectively. This tree on fire as well adds to the atmosphere of this battle indeed. English king is still hanging on. He's fine. He's safe at the moment. He's taken a few clashes already today, but he's hanging on. He's cheering. His men are cheering. The battle's not won yet. Still much more to do, but of course the tide is starting to turn slightly, I think, for the English here. The cavalry of the English, as I say, the English knights have began to manoeuvre around the battlefield. Where they're going to go, we'll ride with them for the second here. I think they'll try and do some rear charges into the infantry if they can. Try and get some deadly high impact charges, obviously, if they can. Get the pressure on. Build the momentum of the charge here, and really get a decent rear charge into the back of this French unit over here, I think. Oh, look at this. You need a French cavalry as well. Oh, smash into them, but some of them got through and are going to go right into the line of infantry here. Bang! Great shot charge there from the English knights. This could be the turning point, ladies and gentlemen. The turning point could be right now. Pulling out again, obviously, with them being shot cavalry. They don't want to stay into the fight too long. They want to get out that melee if they can and do another cycle charge in a second. Look at that horse go absolutely flying then. That horse took an arrow there, pretty much full on, and went flying. Good God. And look at these lines of longbowmen. Completely untouched, unscathed in fact. Still able to fire at a great rate here. Volley after volley after volley. So I think the English have driven the French back at most parts of this battle. I think there's a few units here still fighting on. There is. Guys, this is gruesome stuff. Gruesome stuff. But well done indeed. The English have done a sterling job today, just like they did in history. I mean, the casualties in the historical battle was ridiculous. It was like, I think it was about 100 men that the English lost in total, and the French lost considerably more than that. I can tell you, considerably more. So, just like in history, the English have become victors by the looks of things today as well. Oh, there goes a head. There goes a head. Yes, indeed he has. He's lost his head. So yeah, the infantry lines have done a wonderful job of holding and withstanding that massive battering the French gave at the beginning. The dead are countless though. Look at the amount of dead in the middle here. It's a pretty gruesome sight. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. A close victory, but a victory nonetheless for the English. They have won again at Agincourt today. So let's end the replay there. Let's have a quick look at the statistics before we go. So, yeah, the longbowmen did a very good job at totaling that number. I mean, it's to say, probably individually, they weren't the best performing unit, obviously, because look at that. 365, 309, some great... I'm doing 383 for the foot knightly retinue there. Wonderful work from them. And they were probably those units in the centre, which were taking most of the onslaught from the French. But that still gave the longbowmen their chance to get some wonderful shots off and some great casualties to the enemy with some really high damages or high numbers that they inflicted onto the enemy there, France. The French didn't do too well at all, unfortunately, in the end. They just could not withstand the firepower of the longbowmen in the end and the sterling defence. Even the English king, Henry V, getting a few kills there. Pikemen didn't do amazing. The heavy billmen, okay, didn't get many kills, but on that left flank they were really taking a lot of the French push there, so they were holding for a long period of time. So great stuff to them, great performance all around. Look at that, even as well the men-at-arms, the French, so the English knights on horse there doing a sterling job as well. So yeah, I am very pleased indeed. A great battle in the end. Agincourt, I wanted to do replicated in this game on this mod, I should say, because it is a phenomenal and most significant battle in medieval history, and I wanted to sort of give it to you guys in this mod today, or in this scenario. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Please drop the video a like, and I'll be back with a lot more of these sort of scenarios over the next few weeks. Like, I'm going to try and do Cressy, Poitiers, the great victories that Edward the Black Prince did against the French, Battle of Bosworth, all those sort of scenarios for you. If you want some more of that nature as well, do let me know in the comments below. So before I leave you with this video today, I just want to quickly share something with you that I always relate to when I think about Henry V and his achievements in France, especially of course at the Battle of Agincourt. And that's from the end speech of Shakespeare's play of Henry V. It sort of brings it all into context in a lot of ways. So let me just share this with you and see if you can relate to it as well in some way. So this Star of England fortune made his sword, by which the world's best guerdon be achieved, and of it left his son imperial lord, Henry VI in infant bands, crowned King of France and England, did this king succeed, whose state so many had the managing, that they lost France, and made his England bleed. Until next time, farewell.